what's up guys, YouTube Savjz here with another fantastic guide for you, another big deck. This time we're taking a look at the Curse Warlock. This is part of my deck guide series. You can find all of them. We got a huge playlist. If you haven't seen the other ones, you might want to check those out as well. If you like this type of content, just leave a comment and remember to hit that like button so others will also find out about these existing. Curse Warlock. Basic strategy, you give your opponents a lot of abyssal curses. Abyssal curses, of course, the first one deals 1 damage, the second one deals 2 damage. You give those to your opponent's hand. They're two mana to get rid of, otherwise they deal the damage 2 times. So we have every single curse card right now in this version of the deck. There are many different versions of the deck, and some play, for example, there are many variations, but we'll get to those later. I'll focus first on the ones that I am choosing to play. Mixture of pictures, strong healing, easy to also just play out of your hand if you have too many cards. Great card, you definitely want to play too. Mortal Coil, Touch of Natcherim, Blood Mage Stalnos. Very nice having these early removals against like Demon Hunters and anything really. It's just very like convenient. Convenient removal. Drain Souls as well, I would recommend playing too. Nothing too out of the ordinary there. Bran Bronzebeard. Bran is a little bit worse than in some other versions right now, because we don't play school teachers right now. This is a very popular card for the deck, because you can get extra dragged belows. Sometimes you get like altars too. It's pretty powerful, and I wouldn't mind playing these. But right now I'm just opting to go for some other stuff instead. The deck list is very tight. I always have like 35 cards I would like to play. This is one of the cards that I would like to play, but I just can't fit it in. Viper would also be pretty fine, but right now we're not playing it because weapons are not the main problem. Instead I have a Starfish against those Naga Priests, get rid of those buffs, or against Hunters when they try to do the Ashran Saber. Very important to silence that. Also useful in order to remove any freeze effects from your own minions if you're playing as like Mage that does a Blizzard, or if a Shaman is freezing your board with the Snowfall Guardian. So that's like a deck card of my choice right now. I even played 2 actually at a point. Right now, just opting to go for 1 though. I think 2 was a little bit too much. Thumb Syndrome, key card. You use it with Dragged Below to add extra copies. You can also like play with Abyssal Wave. Sometimes you play it even with like Drain Souls and all of this stuff. Absolutely a fantastic card. If you need to play it against aggro early, it's usually at like 6 mana, 5 mana, 6 mana, where you can do like touches and Mortal Coil, so Drain Soul and Touch or so. Can be very strong at like stopping some early aggro decks too. Zola works well with the Bran. Sometimes at 6 mana you just go Bran, Zola, then you can go Bran Sirage's Cultist, or you can go Bran Queen of Shara, or both, or Bran Spice Breaker. Zola, very good. Even an extra copy of a customer can be huge against some board-based decks. Immolate. So Immolate is a card that not everyone, most players actually don't run, but it is from the latest mini set. It is a card that I personally really enjoy. It's so amazing when you play it against a slower deck, and especially after they use their Serfinli already. You can just like, it's not that uncommon to destroy 5 cards from a big mage. Or in a game earlier today, I also just destroyed like 3 cards from a hunter, and it's just incredible. It also breaks all those locks against players who are trying to keep a full hand. Let's say you play against other Warlock. It often becomes a game of like both players having full hands. So if anyone tries to keep a full hand against your curses to like avoid getting the curses, this is exactly what you want to have. The downside, of course, is that if you're playing against a fast early deck, like it doesn't really do anything. Like you're almost like just better off. Like you don't even on turn 4 when like you just kind of don't want to do it, and later on it's just, if they don't have lots of cards, it won't really work. So it's only good against control, but I have been able to like get away with it without it against the aggressive decks quite often. So then it's just so incredibly good against the slow decks. Spice Bread Baker. I've been going between 1 and 2 copies, but I feel like right now in the meta, I am happy with 2. This is where I landed. I tried playing with 1, but right now I have 2. I feel like there's so many games where you just need that little bit of extra healing. And against control, sometimes you can even play it a little bit like for less heal. You don't need to get the full heal out of it. Queen of Shara. I think this is a core card. It's not in everyone's lists, but most of the time you pick Ring of Tides from this. Against other Warlocks, you usually pick Ring of Tides and one, like, shuffle their random spells into your deck. Like, that can also be a play with, like, if a game goes to fatigue somehow, you can go Bran, Queen Ashara, and then you can pick even 2 times the Tide Stone, or Scam Stone, like some call it, because sometimes you randomly generate some really OP stuff, 1 mana Pyroblast. So if you go into fatigue, Queen Ashara also helps you to fight that, but mostly it's for Ring of Tides, and then you go like Tamsin, Dragged Below, Ring of Tides, Dragged Below again, and then Dragged Below. So you can do like just for a simple 7 mana, you can do 4 times Dragged Below with Tamsin and that, so it's a really cool combo. Zakul helps you heal up. You usually don't want to do this when your curses are still weak. It tends to be a play around like 8 mana, when ideally your opponent would also like just have like some old curses already in their hand, and then you go like go either like Syrake's Zakul or Dragged Below Zakul or Brand Zakul, and you just like give them 2 more and then heal for like 4, 5, 6 or so. But sometimes you can also just play it on curve. If you don't have a play on turn 5, or if you want to play Tamsin soon and you don't want to life tap, because you would overdraw with Tamsin, you just play it on 5. Totally fine to do it like that. It's a good card. Abyssal Waves. So this is a card that I've been going back and forth with, but it feels oftentimes to me like it's a worse entitled customer. So Abyssal Wave doesn't really kill everything oftentimes. If there's something at 5 health, or it might not be good enough. But at the same time, like there is some value in having like all the curses in the deck, so you can have the maximum amount of damage. And there's very little matchups where it would be totally bad. Because against like more aggressive decks that have smaller minions, you have a board clear. Against slower decks, you have an extra curse. So it's not bad, like bad in any matchup. The main problem from having 2 copies is that if you draw like 2 of the waves at the same time, it might be too hard to cast the 6 mana cards. Or if you draw like a wave and a customer, you probably want to play the customer first. So it's just like having like 2 customers and 2 waves. In total, having 4 6 mana, or if you count Tamsin, we have 5 6 mana AoEs. It just tends to be a little bit much for my taste. And having like Tamsin, customer, and 2 waves in your starting hand is a sure way to lose. So sometimes I've been cutting 1 to have something a little faster in the deck. Tamsin, yeah, you always keep it in your starting hand. Just be prepared. Like I mentioned this in my Altar of the Fire. Curse of Agony guide already, but be prepared sometimes to like burn a card from Tamsin. It's not that big of a deal if you lose 1 card, but if you have a Tamsin, you know you want to play quickly, it might be better to like skip some life taps to try avoid the overdraw. That's all there is to it. Very, very strong, obviously. The free 3/3s are a lot of pressure, and fantastic card. If you don't have a Tamsin, it's one of those cards that you gotta craft it. It's that powerful. I don't really want to give you a replacement on this. Like, it should be your highest priority to craft, because it goes in every Warlock deck that you can imagine. Entitled Customer, one of my favorite cards in the deck. Huge board clear. I've been even keeping this in start. I might personally keep it in my starting hand a little bit too much, because it's still better to draw a little bit later. You might need a heal small removal early against aggressive decks, but absolutely amazing board clear. And this is like the most common card that I'm like, oh, I have to draw a customer or I'm gonna lose this. That's how I feel very often. It's very rare to get the same vibes with like the other cards than this one. This is just, it's such a key card to have access to this play on turn 6 or turn 7. Giga Fin, or like some call it Giga Nuts. The thing I want to say about this card is that don't overthink it like, oh, they don't have that much, like they only have 2 minions or something, like trying to do like a huge AoE removal. It's not so much about that, like 7-4, 4-7, huge stats. So you quite often, you might just want to play it, you can play it even on an empty board, but I don't want to say that like you should always play it on an empty board. That's definitely not true. It really depends on what class you're playing against, what deck you're playing against, but don't be afraid to play it just to like destroy small boards, especially if you still have other forms of removal in your hand, if you have some of this stuff. So if your opponent like makes another big board, it's good to have a customer. If you already played both of your customers, then you might want to think about it like against big mages, if they still have amulets remaining, like maybe you want to hold on to the Gigafin a little later. And a special shout out to the Smothering Starfish, by the way. If you sometimes Gigafin, you want to silence it later so they don't get their stuff back. Nulls, I love the Nulls. absolutely amazing. If you have a full hand, this is what you want to have. Like, you can always play it out of your hand. Serves as an early removal. It's just all around a great card, considering how many cards we tend to be holding. Alright, some special shoutouts. Rune Mithril Rod. I like Rune Mithril Rod, but it tends to be just a little too slow. Like, just doing nothing on turn 5 is not great. It's highly dependent on the matchup and how many Vipers others are playing, but right now in the meta, I'm choosing to not play it, but it's something to keep in mind. Like, if meta becomes really slow and if it's useful to you, like, you might want to play 1 or even 2 copies. I touched about the Naga guy already a little bit. I think it's a really like a strong inclusion. Like, having the school teachers is great, especially with the Bran, because like if you get the right one drops, you get a track below Nagaling, then you can go Bran not track below Nagaling for two extra curses, or just like at 8 mana, 9 mana, like playing Bran and getting an extra Nagalings and then getting extra Nagaling triggers is just like the Bran combo. This is a big reason why School Teacher is played so much. School Teacher was the most played card, at least before the nerfs happened. And in my view, the main reason isn't necessarily how strong the card is by itself, but the synergy with Bran that it has is so bonkers now that Bran is, at least for this year, in the standard set, in the core set. Alright, what else do we have? I've seen some players play Twisting Nether for an extra hard removal, having an extra board clear. That's pretty good. Viper I mentioned already. But yeah, there's a bunch of cards that I was experimenting a little bit with the High Priestess Yaklig as well, as in like an extra lifesteal and taunt to like hold off the aggressive strategies, but it wasn't maybe quite worth it still. Like, yeah, there's a little bit of extra value against Mutanus, but maybe not good enough. Also, another like strong card to play would be for an extra board clear. It would be the Grimoire of Sacrifice. I would probably just play 1 copy though, because like you might draw 2 at the same time and then you just have too many board clears. But that's pretty solid. Yeah, this is the Curse Lock version that I've settled with for now. Oh, are we not getting that? There we go. Alright, against the Mage. I don't think I want to keep any of these. We got the Immolate. Alright, that's good news against the Mage. One thing you gotta be cautious of though is the Sir Finley, because they can swap out the burning cards and then I've actually never had that happen somehow. It's never happened. No one has ever played it. Oh, it's a rogue, okay. Well, then the Immolate is a little bit less exciting. Womp womp. I got excited already. Big Mage is very popular right now, so it definitely could have been a Mage. No Viper for weapons, or not facing any. It's a strong card. Viper is pretty good in the deck, but weapons have not been a problem for now. So, but it is something to always keep in mind if you start losing to some kind of weapons. Right, there's a null now. Because of the because of the 6-mana Thompson, I'm not super excited to be live tapping right now. I might even tempo Bran here. I think I might do it. If I didn't have the Thompson, I would not do this play. This is not a strong play by any means, but I think it's better than tapping. It is the better play. It is better than Blood Mage, better than Sola, and better than tapping. That's all we can do. I'm just never gonna Thompson here. Okay, so he chose to go for the dagger, which might mean that he did that instead of some other play that he wanted to do. All right. There we go with the Immolate. Not expecting like a huge return on it against this particular opponent, but I think it makes a lot of sense to use it now before they have lots of mana. It might be sometimes tempting to like hold the Immolate until they have lots of cards. But the downside of that if you wait too long, then they will also have more mana available. Which in a way makes it worse, because with more mana they can make more plays, and yeah. Then they will have less cards. Okay, 7 here. I think we just... Well, Tempo, Queen Ashara. It would be the biggest one, technically. Next then is probably gonna be a Thompson, even if this is at full health. Activating this is gonna take a long time. I very rarely play this for tempo, but I am seriously considering it here. What was the mulligan guide? Oh, I guess I didn't talk about the mulligan that much. Null is the best. Goldshire Null, Mixtures of Mixtures, and then like depending on what if you're playing as the aggro, you want like Touch of Notcherim and like the early removals. I am gonna play this. I'm gonna do it. It's a little sus, but I want to be strong right now. Against aggro, you want the small removal. Against the slower decks, you want to have other cards. You want to go for like more value. You always keep thumbs in. Okay. Damn. But these cards are burning. It's not always about just the cards that you burn, but it's also like about the cards that you force your opponent to play earlier than they would like. So sometimes it's on top of burning cards, you also force them to make suboptimal plays. It's good to keep in mind. Okay. Oh, did have that, but I have another clear, so I think we're good here. It doesn't really matter. Like playing that burning card, there was no value in it really. It's kind of like this might have been one of those situations where my opponent may have otherwise chosen to like not even do that. I see the customer. I think customer is more valuable to hold for now. So I'm gonna go for the wave. The wave is kind of a worse card, so let's use the worst card for now. Since it gets us the same effect. Okay. Might be a good time for the Thompson. I think I like the Thompson the most. We can go double touch, double track below. So we get really strong healing here as well. And the Rat King will not be waking up just yet. This is nice. So getting rid of those curses is now, it's quite expensive for my opponent. A lot of mana. This is also a significant threat. It has to be removed right now. It's only 2 power. No, it wasn't not too difficult to accomplish. Yeah, 2, 3, 4. We got another curse here. Another abyssal wave. If I kill both of these, unfortunately, the Rat King will be coming to life. Maybe. Whoa! He made me taste my own medicine, huh? But he has no cards remaining. There are no cards in my opponent's hand. Except for the one curse, of course. So we don't want to wake the Rat King yet. Let's go for some more curses and even maybe play this. Shakul. Nice combination of like healing and damage. Top decking Rogue won't win. It's definitely difficult for my opponent to come back in this. Well, that could do it if we get something very strong from this. Wait, how many turns do we have? We have like 2 more turns on this, right? Immolate was played just last turn. Ooh, it's kind of a strong one. We got the wave. You do a spell-powered wave. Don't want to draw that just yet. Back below. Got him. Very nice. Check out my guides on YouTube, alright? If you're watching on YouTube right now, remember there's a whole ass playlist out there if we're gonna use this clip. Oh, track belows, abyssal waves. I think I actually want to keep one of these, just in case they tempo out the 4-1. I know I mentioned it a few times, but I'm trying to like raise awareness. Or after this video. You used to have Doomsayer in this deck. It just wasn't quite. It was a little too clunky. I still think that if you had Doomsayer on turn 2, it's like one of the best things you can do. But if you draw it any other time than like the starting hand or so, it's just not that great. It's too difficult to use. Alright, this might be another juicy immolate. I don't want to use the coin though. I don't want to like coin the thumbs in. I suppose I could like track below now, because that's like a more expensive card. Yeah. I'm gonna actually hold the immolate a little longer for here. I can do it next then. Coin thumbs in, that's what I want to do with my coin. Whoosh. Alright, 5 cards are burning. Clownfish. It's a strong card, but they all still die to the Thompson. Still all dying to Thompson. Oh, not anymore! Uh-oh. Okay. So now we need the customer. But this will draw a lot of cards, so... there's a decent chance we'll have it for next turn. I also have a lot of health right now, so we didn't like lose just yet, although that was very powerful. It's a pretty decent Thompson turn with like spamming all these small spells too. It's actually very good. Oh my goodness. What? Okay, this is getting ridiculous. Remember when I said that like customer is like always right. It's like the best card in this. Like once again, the stupid. Oh, I'm actually really annoyed right now. We might be able to still win. Let's see. How much can we clear with this? Because we do heal like a good chunk too. But it shouldn't be this hard. If I just had a customer, we slam it, we win the game immediately. It's over. This game could have been over if I had it. Struggling. Come on, we need a board clear. Even a Abyssal Wave. This is very unfortunate. The deck is like oozing with 6 mana AO. We got 2 customers, 2 waves, and I'm just not drawing any of it. Extremely frustrating right now.
What is taking so long?
What is taking so long? Oh my god. So we could do a spell power like coil on this. We could do a spell power drain on this. Oh, I'm so mad. Either way, I won't. Even if the next card is Teo, we won't be able to play it. Null the 5/4, drain the. Yeah. Oh my god, this is really tricky. Oh, but I can't play it yet. I sincerely hope this is not the Bloodlust version, because I have seen a version with Bloodlust too. Okay. I mean, not as bad as losing this, right? How many cards do I have? 6 cards. So I need to hero. If I hero bar first, we have full clear. Hoping we don't get Fell Rifts now. Okay, good.
Are you gonna clean that up?
It could be some Macaws now to follow up with the eating. No Macaws. Okay. Oh, this is not too bad. This is actually not too bad. Get a wave and coils. And like 2 of those cards are now Piranha. I want to get those after I. Stop! I need to get those out. Now I like. Do I even want to do it anymore? I don't know if I even want to do it anymore. I kill same amount of my own stuff. The problem is that I don't really know what I'm gonna draw. Like, if we leave these up, that's really bad. It's really bad to leave these up. Guess. I really don't want to leave those up, chat. I really don't want to leave those up. Like, oh, this is so tricky. These are clumsy cards right now. I need like tracked below. I guess I just do leave them up. Like, there are only 2 attack at the end of the day. We said like a bread baker or something. Oh, yes. Okay. Okay, I think that worked out in the end then. That's probably enough heal to like not get me wrecked. The 3-3s are not your win condition. I mean, but if we have free ones, I would destroy as much of my own stuff as I would kill my opponent's stuff. That doesn't feel right. Okay. Okay, well, my opponent like kind of committed more here. Don't give me 3-3s yet, please. No, don't. Okay. Another wave. And then we use this. Alright. There shouldn't be that much like direct damage. Like he could play the hero, that would be 6. And then the weapon attack 2. Nah, I don't have any more healing. I'm out of healing now. The only healing I have now is Sakul, which costs a lot of mana. But at the same time, like, my opponent's hand is pretty much just piranhas, right? Oh, you made food. Oh, it's a read. Okay, thanks. Okay, that is a lot of curses. That's lethal if he doesn't deal with this. Okay. So the Bran is kind of dangerous. I feel like I want to get the Bran of my own maybe on board right now. Is there a way he would silence this and go face with that? Not really. There's one card. It could be anything. It's not a piranha. It was drawn from Wind Chill. Okay, I'm gonna go for this. And now we have this. We have like the brand ready for the Sakul next then. Hero Battlecry? Yeah, it wouldn't do it, right? Because he would get stopped by the taunt. Silence only the taunt and not the board? Yeah, that's not happening. It's not happening. I was just trying to like find like ways of like he would get through. I was trying to think, but that's why I did this play, because I didn't see a way. Got him! Yes! Woo! That was actually a really good win, because we had some struggles with the draws. My opponent made strong plays and we still won. Remember to leave a comment and like video. YouTube Savjz. YouTube Savjz all along. This is my mission right now in life and in Hearthstone. Get you guys all the best decks.